Hey guys, how's it going? It's Cameron here. Today I'm going to be explaining something that people have been asking me a lot about. And actually, I have been asked this too many times to count. And that question is, what is fear? Well, that's what I really wanted to find out together. According to according to the internet, fear is a feeling induced by persevering danger or threat that occurs in certain types of organisms, which causes a change in metabolic and organ functions, and ultimately a change in behavior, such as feeling, hiding, or freezing from persevering traumatic events. Fear in human beings may occur in response to specific stimulus occurring in the present, or in anticipation or or expectation of a future threat, per- persevering as a risk to body or life. The fear response arises from the perception of danger leading to confrontation with or escape from avoiding the threat, also known as the fight or flight response, which in extreme cases of fear, horror, and terror can be a freeze response of paralysis. If humans and animals fear, in humans and animals, fear is modulated by the process of you know learning. Thus, fear is judged as rational or appropriate, and irrational or inappropriate. Uh, yeah, uh, Irrational fear is called a phobia. So, what is fear exactly? Like I said, I don't know the answer to that. No one does. But what I do know is that fear can be something from something that happened in the past, the present, or maybe heck, maybe even future. But here's what I want to explain to you guys. Fear isn't real. It's fake. It's just like a dream. It's not real. If you believed fear was the same as I don't know, okay, uh, remember when you were young, like a little kid, and you would have fears of monsters hiding under your bed or in your closet, or fear of darkness. That's basically what fear is. Darkness. It's the fear gets to you, and you think, huh, I wonder. And then you really start to get into depth of what fear is. You get taken over by fear. You get uneasy feelings because you think fear is real, but it's not. Fear is just in your mind. You get so scared of something like maybe a movie like Saw, or The Ring, or The Conjuring, or The Cabin in the Woods, any kind of those movies, any kind of horror movies, Jason, um, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Freddy vs. Jason, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. It's all the same thing. It's all fear. Chucky. I watch Chucky a lot. I watch Freddy a lot. I watch Jason, Michael. Well, not really Michael Myers, but I watch all those scary movies. Saw. I watched every single scary movie out there, except for maybe Halloween. But I just fear is what I get. I mean, when I'm walking into the kitchen for a late night snack or a glass of milk in the middle of the night, you know, I I have a fear of the darkness because I watch those movies and I think everything is real. And that's what really gets me, started on it. That's what I think about. It's it's fear. It's fear that's not real. It's not there. How many people here have actually gone through the length and actually have talked to themselves about what fear is? How many of you go to classes about fear? How many of you have been through traumatizing events? How many of you have made a habit of being scared of everything? You're timid, you're afraid, you're shy. Everything that you have fear. Um, Bugs, snakes, you know, huge animals. Um, Dark monsters that aren't real. Zombies, which are kind of real. Um, Mythical creatures. The, there's a million things that you can be scared of. Scorpions. Anything that's poisonous. Nothing, nothing can stop us from fearing that, unless we come to face with it. Because if you come face to face with it, it's gonna eventually fade away, and then you're not scared anymore. You have millions of things to fear, uh, like for girls, it's not having matching shoes or not having a fashionable, design dress that you want to wear Sunday on when you're going to church. For guys, it can be maybe, I don't know, not having muscles or not having abs, not being able to work out, you know, not having a girlfriend, not having a wife, not having anyone to, love you back. For girls, it could also be like, personally, my girlfriend actually is scared of, not, you know, I know, when we video chat, I kind of make faces, and that kind of scares the crap out of her. Um, for me, it's basically the dark because I watch scary movies. I watch. I don't like darkness because it just reminds me of those movies. Everything is in darkness, and you don't know what's going to happen next. It's always in your head. There's no fear to be, there's no fear to be afraid of. It's just your imagination. Your imagination, like when you're in the desert, you have mirages. You hallucinate. You you see things that aren't really there. That's the things that mushrooms do. Those mushrooms that make you hallucinate. You know, um, a lot of things can make you hallucinate. A lot of things can make you scared of nothing, something that's not there. For example, when I was young, I used to think that things would come, at at night. I always feared that someone would break in and try to steal crap. That's a fear, yes, a phobia. I had a lot of phobias back then. I feared that someone would break in. I dreamed that I had a lot. I had a lot of fears when I was growing up. But fear isn't real. But we still haven't answered the question. What is fear? What what is fear? What is it? What's the definition of it? Definition of fear. What is fear? What is fear? Well, take it like this. Fear is basically what we think it is. You okay? Go into a dark room, turn off all the lights at night. What do you picture? Black, right? You picture blackness. No, that's not racist, okay? It's black. It's pitch black. It's cold. It's nothing's there. Nothing's in. Nothing is in our line of sight. You can't see anything. It's not there. Like Unit 522 always says,
there's always a reason to be afraid.
There's never a reason to be afraid. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. It's just your imagination. Fear is like Okay. Fear is like me, right? Just dressing up in a costume. It might be scary. It might be fearful. Fear isn't real though. So why are you scared of something that might, something that's unusual or suspicious? Why are you scared of things on Halloween? That's fear. It's not really scary. It's just that you think something might bad happen, or you think you're gonna get attacked, or you think you're gonna die, or get killed by something. That is fear. But we haven't answered the question. What is fear? Honestly, I don't know what fear is. I told you that before. I don't know what fear is. I can pull that thing up again. Fear. Definition of fear. Look, Wikipedia. Fear is a feeling introduced by a specific danger or threat that occurs in certain types of organisms. There's no other thing that could, there's nothing else that, there's nothing. Signs and symptoms, causes, top 10 types in the U.S., common phobias, fear of death, fear of the unknown, signs of symptoms, causes, 10 signs of the U.S., there's nothing here. Now, I'm gonna look up something different. There is different things that I can look up. Different. Okay. And pleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or threat. Okay, yes. That can be also true. Be afraid of something or something, someone or something as likely to be dangerous, painful, or threat. That's the same thing. Now, what is fear? From today, fear is an emotional response, including same thing, right? Change in brain and organ function, as well as in behavior. Fear can lead us to hide or to run away, or to freeze in our shoes. Froze in fear. Fear may arise from confronting or from avoiding a threat, or it may come in a form of a discovery. It says, when I was younger, fear came from a form of a scary movie, like The Shining or Nightmare on Elm Street. A little bit later, the fright was whether or not I could get picked in the neighborhood basketball game, And a little bit after that, it was which girl I should ask to the school dance. After that, dread was dealt with in the form of finding a job after college. And then consideration came, same job. It's everything. At the age of 30, it didn't come to a format of a movie or a girl. It came from a form of being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. It rushed into my life like a tsunami, reaping havoc and filling my mind with doubt and anxiety. My intelligence and my worry and unknownness. In fear of losing someone's life, losing your life. That's what fear is. You're losing your life, right? You feel like you're gonna die from something, or someone's gonna stab you, or something, and someone's gonna kill you, or something or someone is gonna kill you. A threat, torture, pain. Wishing you were never born. That's fear. But like I said 2 times already, we have not answered the question. What is fear? Like I said a million times before this one, I don't know. I don't know. You could go to any kind of link on the internet, but it'll all tell you the same thing. Fear is anxiety, or it might be fear that harm or torture or pain or death. Death is a fear, yes. Death is a fear because you won't be here anymore. You're scared of what will happen to you after that. Some of you might say you go to heaven. Some might say they go to hell. They might say they stay here on earth. But at church, I asked the preacher, what is fear? Now, as you know, church is always, a spiritual place to talk about God. I asked what fear is. Here's what they told me. They told me that fear is just not being accepted into heaven. That's actually what they told me one time. They told me that fear is not being able to get in heaven. That's a fear. That should be a fear. That's a fear for me. Even though I accept Jesus into my life, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I love God. I have a relationship with Him. I am in love with God. That's why you don't see any profanity or, well, I really shouldn't say any profanity, but that's why you don't see me swear to God's name or, say bad language. You might hear a bit every now and then, but that's why you almost never hear me say any bad words or profanity or whatever. And yet we still have not answered the question. Mainly because I've been avoiding it. But I've got to come to terms with it. I've got to confront the question, what is fear? Well, fear is basically our emotions getting the better of us. See, there's different emotions. There's braveness, timidness, rage, what else? Laziness, joy. I'm not sure if I did that. Disgust. I'm just doing inside that now. There might be even fear. Fear is an emotion, yes. What is fear? It's basically when you were a kid, you used to have fear, right? You've grown out of it, or so you thought. You thought you'd grown out of everything, right? You think you went through a gothic phase, got through that, went through a thuggish phase, got through that, went through millions of phases and you got through those, except for one. You can tell yourself that you've gotten through, the stage of, oh, I'm so scared, there's something under my bed, there's something in my closet, oh no. You might think that. But in reality, you're still scared of something. I don't know what it is. I never will know what it is. Only you can tell what it is. Only you know what it is. You've been doing a lot of things, right? Millions of things can come and go. Millions of things can corrupt your mind and think that, oh, this is real, this isn't real, What is fear? It's just your kid's side getting the best of you again. You were scared when you were little. You're scared now. You're scared of maybe someone taking your kids away. You're scared of people doing something, doing drugs. You're scared of killing people. Even though they say, oh, that's fine. Fear is not what you think it is. The internet's lying to you. The internet is always lying to you. Fear the deep web. I have a fear of that. I have a fear of that. I have BitTorrent. Torrent. Whatever. I have that. That doesn't mean that I'll go to the deep web with it. I mean, there are a lot of steps to get to the deep web. I have a fear of that. Alright. We've answered half of what fear is. The other half is this. You're taking what you learned as a kid, learning that isn't real, and then going to something else. Now you're scared that you'll have a wreck, maybe, like I have. That's the fear of every day of my life whenever I go driving. I'm gonna have a wreck. Oh, wait. You know, I get scared about that. I spaz about it. But then I just have to pull over when I drive. I just pull over wherever I can, to a parking lot, something like that, and take a deep breath and let it out slowly. As if there's nothing to be scared of. I have to relax. Now, the second part of fear is what I'm going to tell you right now. Like I said, you're taking what you learned as a kid, learning that it's not true, and then turning that into something more twisted. Like, what if I get stopped on the side of the highway? That's a fear. Yeah, you're getting pulled over by the police. What if I do something wrong? That's a fear. What if I, run into a kidnapper or a serial killer or something? That's a fear. But what's the second half of fear? As adults, we try to move on from what, as kids. Maybe you have moved on. Maybe you moved on from those childish fears, like monsters under your bed or in your closet or in darkness or whatever. Now, adults may say they're not scared of the dark, they're scared of what's in the dark. Yes, there could be some stuff in the dark, yes. There could be shadows that look like monsters. In my room, in one strip of my closet, on top of my dresser, there's a lot of clutter up there. There's a lot of clutter. And if I look at it, or a glance, it might look like, it's just like it looks like a monster, just standing there. I bet if you turned off all lights in your room, and you had a lot of clutter on top of your dressers or something, or maybe even socks, or maybe a coat, some sunglasses, some pants or boots just sitting right there, you might think of a weird monster. You might have a monster in your basement, under your bed, your closet, in your room, maybe even in your garage. A lot of garages are cluttered. A lot of things happen, not for a good reason, but for a bad reason. They want to teach you a lesson. Why do good things happen to bad people? That's a fear. Things always happen to me. And I think, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. Now, here's something I want you guys to know. Even though fear might or might not be real, it doesn't mean, you have to do stuff that, your friends might want to do something that you fear. Maybe go shoplifting or stealing, or maybe even do drugs. Go get wasted at a bar when you're underage. Fake IDs. They exist. What is the second half of fear? Here's my theory. You fear things as adults. Maybe you're a teenager. Maybe you fear that you might never get to be able to drive. Maybe you're scared that you have to ride the bus for the rest of your life. I have that fear. And look at me now. I got a license. I got a car. I've been in wrecks. Okay, yeah, cool. But I pay for my mistakes. There are consequences. You might get a ticket. You might get thrown in jail for a couple weeks at most, depending on what you did. Now here's what I think fear number 2 is. You're scared of something different, bigger. You're scared of something that you feared as a kid. Maybe you don't. Maybe not. So we're back to square one. What is fear? Right now, I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to that. But here's what I do know. Fear is not real. So every time I've asked what is fear, when people ask me what fear is, I'm going to tell them, well, nothing. It's your imagination. Fear isn't real. It's like a dream. It's not real. Honestly, people always think about what fear is. And they never think about what isn't, what fear is not. What do they think of? Only what it is and what it can be. They never think about what it might not be. Think about that next time. You might see something different. Let me see something. Have you ever once thought about what fear isn't? Well, for one, it isn't real. It's not real life. It's fake. It's a dream. Anyways, guys, I think I'll let you go. Besides, you guys probably are tired of hearing me talk for 27 minutes. Well, 28 minutes, actually. So anyways, guys, let me know in the comments what you think fear is or isn't. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and make you think twice about what fear is or isn't. So, think about it, and be sure to push the like button if this like you just don't care. And as always, I think we should all, for now, say peace.